Ladies and gentlemen, please postpone your plans for this weekend. Prepare yourselves and put your children to bed early because what we're going to reveal will completely change your perception of Remy Ma's new identity. A controversy that was so wild and outrageous happened just days after she declared to the world that she was weary of pretending. Done with men and done with toxic masculinity. Every group chat, TikTok, and Twitter are all yelling the same thing. Hold on, what did she say and do? 'Cause a startling video has now surfaced, and who is said to have dropped it? Papoose, her own spouse, was the one. The king of fidelity. You're correct. The 6th-year waiting man when she sat in prison. She just came back with a vengeance against the same man who emotionally bench-pressed her in front of the entire culture. As well as the video. 2 men are in a private room with Remy Ma. 2, indeed, she sobbed, live about meeting tenderness, before revealing to us that she was gay. Remy Ma was recorded in 4K, trashing her entire movement after establishing herself as a black queer icon for a betrayed knight. Is it retaliation? Is it retaliation? Is she telling the truth? Or was it merely a falsehood that was discovered? You make the decision, for what we are going to disclose is not sacred. Let us start at the top. This is more than just a scandal, darling. It is a clash of legacy, lust, and deception. Remy Ma made waves only a few weeks ago after a phone call that was leaked went viral online. In that conversation, she allegedly told a close friend Papoose was never enough. I've been gay my whole life. I just didn't know how to say it. Cue the violins, right? Fans lit up Twitter with rainbow flags and heart emojis, celebrating what seemed like a long-awaited liberation. She was praised for her courage. Queer blogs labeled her a hero. She even posted a cryptic photo of herself in rainbow stilettos with the caption, "I'm finally free." And then, just when we thought everything was over, leaked footage appeared from a source no one had anticipated. Papoose himself. Yes, Mr. Loyalty, the same man who wrote poetry about her while she was incarcerated. Who said that forever means forever, and who watched her walk red carpets while remaining in the background. Apparently, he had had enough, because early on, Friday morning, a video file called Remy Backstage MP4 was inexplicably sent to several private forums, gossip pages, and even the Shadoom's backup account. You can see Papcam's watermark in the bottom corner. According to people close to the situation, this footage was taken from a security camera that Papoose had access to and had set up backstage at a private industry event where Remy was scheduled to perform as a surprise guest. It shows Remy Ma in a dressing room with 2 men, one of whom is a very recognizable battle rapper named Bill Collector. The other, an unidentified music executive wearing a diamond chain, dreads, and a very distinctive R tattoo on his neck. The 3 men are seen, laughing, touching, and eventually engaging in something that had to be blurred in every repost to prevent immediate takedowns. Within 20 minutes, the video had gone viral, forcing X, the former Twitter platform, to temporarily disable trending topics because hashtag Remy MALADE and hashtag PapSetRollTape were literally breaking the feed. TikTok creators responded live. And let's be honest, it wasn't just about the tape. It was also about timing. The 2007 Wendy Williams podcaster posted emergency episodes. And Mids and Papoose were silent on Instagram. But that silence was loud because despite his silence, he made sure the world heard his side without saying a single word. This leak occurred precisely 13 days after Rema's post about finally living in my truth. Exactly 6 days after she was spotted at a queer art gala with her rumored girlfriend Dominique Laveau. And exactly 1 day after she agreed to serve as the keynote speaker at a women's event. Whether or not you think Remy was pretending to be gay, this footage simply destroyed a movement that supporters believed was based on honesty and reconciliation. Now, that whole opportunity just got set on fire. One tweet went viral saying, "She really said, I'm gay," and then rolled into a double feature. "What's the truth, girl?" Another person said, Remy is cheating on her wife and husband while playing for both teams. For those who openly supported her during her coming out moment, it was messy, emotional, and tragic. However, this is when the plot really takes off, as it turns out that Papoose had filmed before. Several sources now assert for months, Papoose has been sitting on a folder of security footage. According to a source close to his legal team, he always had suspicions. He began keeping an eye on her green room access and backstage guests after the Easy the Block captain rumors surfaced. He wasn't trying to trap her. He just needed evidence to stop feeling crazy, and he got it. Now, the entire world is watching it in 10-second clips and grainy loops, like it's the Zapruder movie. Ree's response was initially complete silence. But then she posted a single Instagram story with a black screen and white text. The truth is never one-sided. We uplift those finding their truth, but we do not tolerate those who weaponize identity to deflect from deception. Even the LGBTQ+ blog community posted a statement saying, "We uplift those finding their truth. But we do not tolerate those who weaponize identity to deflect from deception." Remy believed that denial, no context, just vibes, and a digital smoke bomb would calm the fire. She was so wrong because the backlash came immediately. Her endorsement deal with FEMA Audio, a queer-focused podcast network, was suspended within hours, and she was quietly removed from the lineup of a Pride Month showcase where she was supposed to headline. A 2019 interview tape of Remy Ma telling a radio presenter, "I don't really like labels," came back to light. Not to mention the man at the center of this chaos, Papoose, who hasn't gone live, tweeted, or posted a selfie. But his sister Latana, who has never missed a scandal, did post a TikTok that read, "Y'all said he was crazy, said he was insecure." That clip, which has been stitched onto TikToks with circus music in the background, it's received over 9 million views in just 48 hours. Look now. The video shifted to a 2021 interview with Papoose, who stated, "I've always trusted her, but I've discovered that not all things sacred remain secure." The 3-minute black and white confession video on Instagram called What She Told Me opens with Dominique in a silk robe sitting by candlelight staring into the camera as if she's about to expose a secret. And we haven't even gotten to Dominique's reaction yet, because just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, Dominique Laveau entered the chat and didn't just post a quote or unfollow quietly. She went full HBO original series on Remy Ma's entire truth's journey. Dominique made it clear right away that she had no idea about the video, the men, or Ree's fluid reality. She said, "I was in her bed the night before, kissed me and told me I was enough." Then the next day, she's on video with not one but 2 men. What kind of liberation is that? Her video went viral within 17 minutes and TikTok stitched it. Cold? She said when someone says they're leaving lies behind, but bring more into the bed. What are we really celebrating? Twitter Spaces organized an 8-hour discussion titled When Queer Identity Becomes PR, the Remy Ma debacle, while YouTubers posted 10-part reactions. Dominique, trust me, was prepared for the backlash, concluding her video with the words, "Don't drag me. That room did not contain me. She was obviously not in love with me." The hashtag Justice for Dominique trended across platforms, and many shared old footage of her and Remy, highlighting how sincere Dom seemed and how much she loved Remy. Now that love is being clowned retroactively, though. Here is where it starts. Mic dropped. Because an unnamed source purportedly shared text exchanges between Dominique and Remy from just 2 weeks prior to the tape being leaked, including one from Remy that said, "I promise you're the only one." While Dominique was writing about her sadness, making things even more bizarre. "All I need is time to shut all the old doors." According to another, "Don't trust anything unless it's from me." When people don't comprehend something, they want to destroy it. The public is now calling it what it is: queerbaiting, gaslighting, and double betrayal. And let's face it, the impact was more than just emotional. If those texts are real, Remy was actively lying to Dominique while having extramarital affairs after coming out as a lesbian. Asterisk, we're not done yet. Though, because bill collector, one of the two men in the leaked video, decided to speak up, and his response, you guessed, it was a freestyle. A full disc track called Closets and Contracts dropped on SoundCloud. And the opening line was, the song continues to call out Papoose, Easy, the block captain, and even Dominique. I'm not the villain, just played my verse / but when love got loud, she rehearsed the hurt. Fans' reactions were mixed. Some said he was clout chasing, while others said he had every right to speak since he's now a part of the digital hall of shame that Remy unintentionally created. But let's not forget that the original voice memo that outed Remy Ma wasn't an official statement. We were pitched a 6-part series about Remy finding herself falling in love with a woman and starting over. Now, we're not sure if this was growth or just gross. The phrase queer performance for profit is now being discussed in every think, piece, podcast, and gossip forum. Before Pride Month, there was a leaked phone call to a so-called friend that coincidentally went viral. This was just before a wave of branded deals and a dossier's pitch about her identity transformation. One of the viral posts said, Remy didn't just play Papoose. She played the whole movement, and we cheered while she did it. The business receipts followed. The question now becomes, was this really about truth, or was it about the rollout? Because Papoose leaking that tape didn't just break hearts, it broke the illusion. And just as fans were preparing for whatever would happen next, Remy's former assistant jumped into the fire and posted a 2-minute story on TikTok called When. I realized Remy was for everyone. In it, she claims that in 2023, caught Remy in a hotel suite with 3 different people in 1 week, none of whom was Remy. Several bloggers discovered LLC registrations linked to Remy's name. Remy Ma turned a love story into a psychological thriller, not her using the LGBTQ label like a mask. This isn't coming out. This is coming undone. Her words were, I'm not here to out anybody, but if you're going to lie, at least don't lie in front of a whole generation watching you. The assistant continued by saying that Remy kept everyone apart, making sure no 2 partners were ever in the same city. She called it emotional chess and claimed that Remy was playing different versions of herself depending on who was around. The comments were brutal. But he didn't have to, because that leak, whether it was unintentional, intentional, or somewhere in between, said it all. It broke the myth, put an end to the pity narrative, and revealed a level of performance that the public hadn't seen since the Jussie Smollett saga. And now the legal war begins. According to reports from a Bronx-based lawyer, Papoose is suing for full divorce, spousal damages, and even invasion of privacy, citing the betrayal as intentional, humiliating, and damaging to public reputation. We think this goes beyond a simple split. On a business level, it is a breach of trust. The purported court date is next month. The Remy Papoose narrative abruptly stops being a love story. It's a legal matter. The media is having a meltdown. Cultural reckoning is required. Additionally, when hip-hop heartbreak hits, treachery, subpoenas, and scandal merchandise follow, making it impossible for the fires to go any higher. Public opinion had already reached a decision by the time Dominique released her tear-stained truth video and Remy Ma's assistant revealed the purportedly emotional chess game. There was no misunderstanding of Remy Ma. She was in charge of a list. The true storm, however, which came from Papoose's legal team rather than a podcast or leak, struck before we could even digest the emotional devastation. At exactly 9:17 a.m., a 47-page court document was uploaded to the public docket on a Monday. Scott versus Mackey is the filing's name. Petition for financial deception and irreversible emotional injury. Other words, Papoose is finished. Let's examine the contents of that shocking lawsuit. A full divorce request with expedited court proceedings. A $2 claim for emotional damages. $5 million, claiming deliberate character, sabotage, shame, and betrayal. a demand for the cessation of any public exploitation of the Remy plus Dominique plot. Additionally, Meta, YouTube, and Twitter X were subpoenaed for analytics related to all content related to the clip that was leaked by Remy Mose. Why? Due to Papoose's recent allegations that Remy and/or her team may have profited from the incident. While remaining legally wed to him and having joint brand ties, yes, according to the lawsuit, Remy's personal transformation arc exploited Papoose's face, name, and loyalty image. He now demands a share of the revenues or the complete removal of his image from all platforms. This is not a court for divorce. It is heartbreaking corporate retaliation. Remy Ma became silent once more in the midst of everything. However, that silence was short-lived as audio from her planned tell-all diaries was released. Indeed, it is taking place. Simply go out on the streets. Remy can be heard in the video. The video concludes with her whispering, "I never meant to hurt him. I just didn't want to lose myself emotional. Yes, honest, maybe. Too late, definitely." Because now public support has all but evaporated. Let's talk numbers. Over 75K people have unfollowed Remy Ma across all platforms. The petition to ban her from Pride campaigns has surpassed 41,000 signatures. Her music streams have dropped by 48% in just 1 week, and podcast networks that once pursued her for interviews have paused all engagement, for insiders say that. Papoose is rising from the ashes like a phoenix in timberlands. In his first public appearance since the scandal, he was seen at a youth poetry event in Brooklyn with just a microphone and no security. He gave a spoken word performance titled "The Silence Between the Lies." One line from the now viral video reads, "You said it was truth, but I saw the script. You weren't coming out. You were switching the cast." The audience gave him a standing ovation, and the internet immediately dubbed him the people's husband. Meanwhile, fans are drawing comparisons between Remy Ma's decline and the Ja Rule at Fyre Festival. Once when asked about the drama during a live stream, Cardi B said, "Remy has always been tough. But this ain't toughness." Even celebrities have begun to weigh in on the issue, with Keke Palmer tweeting and then deleting, "Identity is sacred. Don't weaponize it, especially when someone gave you their whole soul." This is a complete mess. Even Issa Rae, who'd reportedly been considering Remy for a guest role on her next project. Backstage Girls confirmed in an interview, "Sometimes talent isn't enough. You can't serve the public with fiction and create a brand on reality. It's just when you thought the temperature couldn't possibly get any hotter." Another shocking twist. After starring in Heartbreak and Cancellation Fallout, Dominique Laveau has acquired a deal with a big podcast platform for a new series called Ghosted by the Truth. Episode 1, the woman who wasn't who she said she was in the teaser video. Dominique sounds like she says, "I didn't lose Remy. She wanted me to think she was, but I lost that." The series will examine identity fraud in queer spaces, emotional PR relationships, and when silence is abuse, according to press materials. Remy Ma is reportedly furious, and her lawyers are reportedly preparing a countersuit for defamation and breach of privacy. But the damage is already done. Fashion brands are pulling away, public relations firms are refusing to represent her. And even her upcoming memoir, Unwritten, is reportedly being postponed indefinitely. And you know who's not upset about it? Papoose, who recently shared a mysterious Instagram post featuring a picture of a chessboard with the caption, "The Queen thought she could move in any direction. She lost sight of her protector. Checkmate. Poetry is being given. It is causing agony. Marketing genius is being given." This leads us back to the whole picture, because it's not simply a failed marriage here. It's about how fame, love, and identity are intertwined until performance turns into survival and truth becomes performance. Was there ever love for Remy Ma? Was she ever gay? Did any of it happen? Or was it only a sequence of decisions made for control, survival, and influence? One thing is certain, even though we might never receive a clear response, Papoose pledged her allegiance. The world has now punished her for causing him a controversy. Was Remy Ma really trying to figure out who she was? Or did she simply take over a whole movement for a self-serving rebranding? Was Papoose retaliating by leaking that footage? Or was it the sole means of surviving a performance-based love? What does this mean for the fans? We're the ones who believed in Black love. Are we only supporting